Hey everyone, we've got a new player of the week selection on eFootball. Go and take a look at who we've got. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description, so if there's a particular player you want to hear about, just click on the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to him. So let's have a look at who we've got. Starting with the lowest rated, so we start with our goalkeeper. We've got Bizot, Dutch goalkeeper. He's okay, not amazing. Awareness 85, reflexes 85, so he's pretty solid with his shot stopping, but 88 reach is very good. For a goalkeeper who's 6'4", he's about 6'4". That reach and with his awareness and reflexes, I think he'll be a pretty good shot stopper, especially with the long range curlers that are going. When people try and curl it right in the corner, it could be good for those. Not brilliant with the catching and parrying. That's not uncommon with keepers. 70 for jumping is probably the one concern with this guy. He is quite tall at 6'4", so I don't think you'll notice that too much, but would like it to be a bit higher at 70. But he is a 4-star keeper, so yeah, for a 4-star keeper, I think he's pretty solid, to be honest. But I think most of us at this point probably have better keepers, so for some people could be a decent goalkeeper option, but yeah, not an elite keeper by any means. And then our other 4-star this week, we've got Diomande from Sporting. So again, for a 4-star centre back, for a 4-star player, he's okay, but the most important attributes are here, and you see 81 for defensive awareness. That's a little bit on the low side, and then as much as tackling and aggression, pretty decent. Defensive engagement 77 is not good. That's pretty poor. He's got decent pace for a centre back, physically strong, but only 74 for jumping. He's 6'3", which is a decent height, but only 74 for jumping. He does have aerial superiority and heading, so that will make up for that. But still, even with aerial superiority, I think you're going to notice that 74. That is a bit on the low side. Stamina's a bit dodgy as well, so he could start to tire in the second half. If your opponent's got pacey strikers, that could be an issue. His other skills, their interception and block, are important ones, but he is still nonetheless lacking. Would be nice if he had man marking, acrobatic clearance, for example. So yeah, if you're really desperate for a centre back, if you're new to the game, could be useful for you. But I think the weaknesses with this guy make him pretty uninteresting to me. I think he's getting released if I get him. And then on to the 5-stars. We'll start with Akturkoglu. I've probably said that wrong, as always. Yeah, this guy's decent. Can play wide left or wide right. I think the fact that this guy has long range curler, first time shot, one touch pass, I think he's just built to play on the left. He does have pinpoint crossing. He's right footed. So you think right footed with pinpoint crossing, maybe you could play on the right as well, but only 74 for the lofted pass. So I don't think his crossing is going to be that great. I think wide left is where most people would use this guy. When you look at his attributes, fantastic pace, pretty good balance. He's very good on the ball. The dribbling is fantastic. Attacking awareness isn't brilliant, but it's decent enough. Passing, he's not brilliant at passing, but he's in the 70s at least. Just don't ask too much of him with his passing. Does have one touch pass, so I think if he's going to be kind of playing wide left and trying to kind of work his way into the box, I think you can get away with that. Finishing 78, it's not brilliant again, but 78 is not too bad either. And he's got a decent amount of curl, so again, you look back at his skills, the fact that he's got long range curler and he's got first time shot, one touch pass, acrobatic finishing as well. I think this guy is pretty tidy, and he's got some dribbly stuff in his skill set there. I think as a wide left forward with the pace, the dribbling, and the skills he's got, he could be a pretty effective player for some people. And at only 173 centimeters as well, and decent balance, he could have that low center of gravity about him. So yeah, I think it's a pretty tidy card, that one. And then we have Cristante from Roma. So they've made him box to box. I think he's normally a destroyer. When you look at his attributes, ball control is very good. He's not brilliant with the dribbling type possession, but I think what we're going to see is this guy is a physical player. He's going to be a physical presence in the middle of the park. He's got very good passing. 89 for low passes, fantastic. 84 lofted passes, very good as well. He's got 77 jumping, heading, sorry, and then 76 for jumping, 81 physical. So like I say, he's physically strong, good kicking power. Not the quickest, but again, he's a physical player. Stamina 86 is very decent. Defensives are okay. They're pretty solid, but not spectacular. You look at his skill set. They've given him first time shot and long range shooting. His finishing is 68, so I don't think he's going to be great at shooting, but it's nice to have those as a bonus. Just makes him a bit more likely to be able to pop up with a goal for you from the middle of the park. Through passing interception, two important skills to have for a centre midfielder. but he is lacking one-touch pass. That's the one big miss for me, one-touch pass, not having that, especially for a guy who's quite big and physical, 6'1", and he's not great with his balance. He's not going to be the most mobile or maneuverable player, so that one-touch pass skill missing, I think you're going to notice that sometimes. You're going to have to be very careful with his passing, although when you do get the passes away, he does have very good passing, so be careful with the way you use the ball with this guy. But yeah, he's just, I think he's just a physical presence in the middle of the park. He can play defensive mid as well. He can play centre back. I don't think he's good enough defensively to do that. He can play attacking mid, where obviously he's got the through passing, first time shot, long range shooting, so you could put him there as a kind of physical attacking midfielder, I guess. I'm not sure that's where he's best. I think probably as a centre mid, like I say, as a physical presence in the middle. He's got qualities. He's not elite. He is lacking one-touch pass, and the manoeuvrability and the lack of pace could be an issue, but he's certainly got quality, so it's an interesting centre mid card, that. And then we have Mkhitaryan. This, for me, is one of the best cards in this pack. Positionally, he's quite versatile. He can play left, he can play right, he can play centre mid, but I think really attacking mid and SS are the two places you want to play this guy. That's where you want him on the pitch, because he's got that whole player playing style where he's going to be making a lot of attacking runs, running into spaces. And then when you look at the attributes, attacking awareness 86 is great. On the ball, he's excellent. His passing, certainly low pass, is really good. Lofted pass, not brilliant. He doesn't have pinpoint crossing, but I don't think you're going to play him out wide, so probably won't really factor in. But certainly 86 for lofted pass, for low pass, sorry, is good. Finishing 79, again, it's not brilliant, but I think that's okay for a creative midfielder. He can get away with that. He's got pretty good pace, decent balance. Stamina 87 is good for an attacking midfielder. When we look at his skill set here, he's got a bit of dribbly stuff, but first time shot, one touch pass, through passing, those are the three key ones that he's got there. As an attacking midfielder, especially as a whole player, that first time shot is handy, and then one touch pass and through passing for creating chances. I think this guy in those positions, AMF and SS, is fantastic. This for me is a really good card, and I would very much like to get this guy. And then we have Moffi. So Moffi, he looks like he's got a very similar set of attributes to Haaland, to be honest. The way his attributes are balanced out. He's a big, tall guy. He's strong. He's very quick. The key stats for a striker, obviously, the awareness is pretty good. Not outstanding, but it's pretty good. And the finishing at 90 is excellent. He's got 90 speed, which is excellent. And you look down here, jumping 83, physical contact 91. So he's a very strong guy as well. So like I say, he kind of reminds me of Haaland with these attributes. And over here on the ball, again, that's why he's reminding me of Haaland, because he's big, he's powerful, he's quick, but he's bad on the ball. He's not good on the ball at all, and his balance is dodgy, so he's going to be clunky. He's going to be a bit awkward on the ball. You've got to be aware of that with this guy, because he's got some great strengths, but it's that maneuverability, that mobility he's a bit lacking. You look at his skill set though. So he's got first time shot there. That's the most important one for a striker. He's got one touch pass as well. His passing isn't great, so one touch pass will help. Acrobatic finishing, long range shooting, rising shot, long range curler. So he's got the skills to back up his finishing. This guy could be deadly if you create the chances for him. But like I say, he's not good on the ball. His passing is not good. Balance as well. It's that maneuverability that's going to be an issue. Again, I don't want to keep banging on about Haaland, but he is very similar to Haaland looking at these attributes. So if you play to his strengths, it could be absolutely deadly for you, but you've got to be aware of those weaknesses, because he does have weaknesses in there. But yeah, certainly depending on the way you use him, could be a very effective striker. Then we have Cancelo from Barca. Pretty much what you'd expect from a Cancelo card, to be honest. I like this card. The one concern, the first thing that stands out, defensive engagement 65 is bad. So when you're up against players who are even half decent on the ball with their wingers, you're going to have problems tackling them. He does have okay awareness and tackling aggression, but that defensive engagement, he's going to come up a bit short in some situations. So if you're going to play him at fullback, he's going to be a very offensive fullback. Could play him as a wing back, he could be more effective as a wing back, but I think really where this guy is going to be most effective with this card is right midfield if you play with wingers. I personally play with wingers, and this to me is a fantastic card if I was going to play him there on the right wing. You look at his skill set, it's pretty much what you'd expect, but they've added, I think it's one touch pass they've added, which is a very nice skill to add, especially if he is going to play as a wide midfielder. Already got through passing and pinpoint crossing. Got a bit of dribbly stuff up there. Interception, which is great, and sliding tackle if you're playing with fullback, and that's a very nice bonus having those two if he's a wide midfielder as well. But the crossing and the passing are key. And you look at his attributes there. 84 for low pass is good for a wide midfielder. 92 for lofted pass, and 91 for curl. His crossing, with pinpoint crossing as well, his crossing is going to be fantastic. He's good on the ball. Attacking awareness isn't brilliant, but it's not too important as a kind of old school winger. He's not going to be making runs into the box so much. His pace is great. Balance isn't brilliant, but it's okay. Stamina's good. This guy really, as a wide midfielder, is going to create chances for you. Not just his crossing, but 84 for low pass. He's got one touch pass and through passing. He's also got outside curler, so he can go around the outside and he can turn inside. That's going to make him even more potent for you in terms of creating chances. I think this is a really useful card as a winger. Like I say, you could use him as a fullback or wing back. Just be aware of the fact that he's a bit lacking defensively, so you're going to need to be using him as a very attacking fullback, especially with the fullback finisher play style, because he's going to be moving forward into those kind of midfield and attacking midfield areas as well. But yeah, if you're mindful of those weaknesses, could be a very good attacking fullback, but I think he's an excellent winger. It's a really good card, that. And then we have Vlahovic from Juventus. So this is similar to Moffi, to be honest. It's another striker who's big, tall, strong. He's got pace. He's obviously got the good awareness and the great finishing as well. But again, not brilliant on the ball. He's a bit better on the ball than Moffi was. I think overall the attributes of Vlahovic are a bit better balanced than Moffi's were. But still, he's not great on the ball. The balance is poor. He is strong, he's got good pace, but it's the maneuverability. You're going to notice that he's going to be a little bit awkward when you're kind of twisting and turning. And with the technicals being a bit iffy there, you just got to be a bit careful not to hold onto the ball too long. Notice inconsistent form there. That could be an issue when he's not on ALB form. So keep that in mind. The skill set, not as many skills as Moffi. He's got first time shot and he's got long range curler. Those are the only two really that give him any end product, and they are very important ones for a striker. Very important. So he's got the two key ones really for a striker, but there's no heading, no aerial superiority. Yeah, it's similar to Moffi really. If you play to this guy's strengths, could be deadly. You know, with good pace, he's strong. With the awareness and finishing, you present him with chances in the box, he's going to take them for you. He could be very effective. Just you've got to be aware of the limitations with his technique there and his maneuverability. But yeah, if you play to his strengths, could be very effective. And then we have Robertson from Liverpool. So they've made him a fullback finisher, again like Cancelo. So keep that in mind. He's going to be playing as a fullback. If you play him as a fullback, you can play him left midfield. I don't think you would. I don't think he's good enough on the ball to play left midfield, unlike Cancelo. But as a left back, fullback finisher play style means he's going to be pushing into the midfield quite often. So be wary of that. He's going to abandon his position quite a bit. But he's got very good pace. He's got fantastic stamina. The defensives are pretty good on the whole. Awareness could be a bit higher, but the rest are all 80 plus. I think on the whole, has a good defensives. On the ball, he could be a bit better. I think he's slightly lacking on the ball there. I think most people probably don't mind that, but I like my fullbacks to be a bit more comfortable on the ball. With the passing, his low pass, I think, is a bit on the low side, but the lofted pass for his crossing is very good. And you look at his skill set, obviously has pinpoint crossing, always has that. Good in first time shot, which is nice. As a fullback finisher, he will be getting forward quite a bit. One touch pass, pinpoint crossing, and he's got a bunch of good skills for a fullback as well. Man marking, interception, two very, very useful skills to have for a fullback. So yeah, keep in mind the play style, fullback finisher. But apart from that, it's a very good version of Andy Robertson. So yeah, I think this one will be quite a popular card. And then we have Kulusevski. I've got a version of Kulusevski that was in the, I think it's called the English League Deluxe pack not too long ago. I've got to be honest, I'm not particularly fond of him in real life. I don't dislike him, but he's not a player I've ever really particularly liked. But the card I picked up in the game, I really like. It feels really good on the ball. He carries the ball really well. And this is basically a very similar card to that one that I got. I don't think they've really changed much about him compared to his regular card. The skill set there, you see one touch pass and through passing, crucial there. So you can play him as an attacking midfielder. And he's got long range curl and long range shooting as well. So he can shoot as well as passing. But even though he's got those passing skills there, 79 for low pass for me for a 5-star creative midfielder, that's not high. That's a real shame they've put that so low. It's a bit it's a bit on the low side, so you're going to have to be careful with his passing, not to ask too much of him. You know, you try those Hail Mary through balls from the halfway line, I don't think you're going to get very far. I think you're going to have to be careful with what you ask of him with his passing, but if you are careful, he does have the one-touch pass and through passing, so he could create chances for you. Doesn't have pinpoint crossing, but 83 for lofted pass, 83 for curl, so his crossing should still be decent. Great on the ball. Like I say, I've not got this particular card, but the version I've got of him is very statistically similar, and he feels great on the ball, my one, so I expect this one's going to feel good on the ball as well. Very good pace. Balance isn't the best, but he's got good physical contact for an attacking midfielder. 82 for stamina is okay. It's not outstanding, but it's okay. So, yeah, on the whole, he could be a very useful attacking midfielder. Could play wide right as well. Like I say, the one I've got of him feels really good, so I expect this one probably feels pretty nice as well. But just got to be wary of that low pass. Just don't ask too much of his passing when you try those through balls. But it could be a very nice card to pick up though. And then we finish with what is probably going to be the most popular card in this pack, Bernardo Silva. They've made him a defensive midfielder, and they've given him the box-to-box play style. So it's an interesting one. The first thing to look at as a defensive midfielder is that really where he's going to be best. I mean, he's got good defensive awareness and tackling. Aggression's not bad, but 66 defensive engagement. Like with Cancelo, that's a bit on the low side. It's not great. So if you're going to play him as a defensive midfielder, it's going to have to be a double pivot. You're going to need someone strong next to him, someone like a Rodri, Casemiro, someone like that, who can do the defensive work. But I think ultimately, if you want to really make the most of this guy's strengths, you're not going to play him defensive mid. You're going to play him probably centre mid or attacking mid. You can play him wide right according to the positions that he's got there, but I don't think he's quick enough personally. I think centre mid or attacking mid is where he's going to want to be. So the speed not being great, but acceleration is quite decent. Balance is fantastic. Stamina fantastic. Physical contact for a small guy is actually decent. For a small attacking midfielder, that is. And then down the left there, attacking awareness is excellent. On the ball, he's tremendous. Passing is very good, as you would expect. Finishing is not bad at 77. It could be better, but it's not bad. His skill set's pretty much what you'd expect from Bernardo Silva, but they've given him one-touch pass, which is a bit of a low-key game changer. That's a very important skill to have for a creative midfielder. So box-to-box, centre mid or attacking mid, one-touch pass really, really improves him. He's already got through passing, pinpoint crossing, long-range shooting, long-range curler. He's fantastic. This is a really, really good card, this. I think as an attacking midfielder or a centre midfielder, the fact that he's got these defensive boosts that they've given him, that's quite a boost, I think, on his other versions. I think this is a really, really good card, Bernardo Silva. He's got end product for days. He's got a low centre of gravity, brilliant on the ball, very nice. I think most people would be very happy if they pick this guy up, so probably the pick of the pack for me. So yeah, it's a pretty good pack on the whole. Like I say, I think Silva's probably the pick. I think Mkhitaryan probably the next best. I really want Mkhitaryan. But you've got Cancelo, Moffi and Vlahovic, if they suit the way you play, could be great. Robertson could be great. Kulusevski looks decent. I think there's some decent ones in there. So yeah, not a bad selection. So hopefully you found that useful. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.